Hello, everybody. Namaskar. This is Dr. Delnaz Jokhi from JG College of Commerce, Gujarat University. We are here today to study the chapter Association of Attributes. If you are a student associated with Gujarat University and you are a fresher, you are an FY BCom. So first of all, welcome. In semester 1, in your subject of statistics 1, the first unit is association of attributes. So let's begin this chapter, association of attributes. First of all, in this beginning, when we are starting the chapter for you, in this chapter, what are the points that I will be covering in this first lecture? Please have a look at them. First, I will be introducing the concept and the chapter to you. Then, we shall be seeing the meaning of association of attributes, some essential notations which we will be using in the sums and the tables would first be explained and understood. Then, a very important table which is very useful to do your sums known as contingency table will be explained and taught. After that, a very important short note from the viewpoint of your Gujarat University exam, and that is consistency of data will be discussed with you. Mind you, if you are a student of Gujarat University FY BCom, in Gujarat University, very often either the theory of consistency of data or the sum of consistency of data or something related to this topic of today will definitely be asked. So let's begin with the chapter Association of Attributes. All the best. It may be your first chapter in your college life for statistics. Introduction. Well, we start this lovely chapter, Association of Attributes, with Mr. Smiley. Now, Mr. Smiley has many thoughts in his mind. Let's read his thoughts first. Here they are. Oh, 6 thoughts altogether. Well, Mr. Smiley is a little confused. He has 6 things in his mind. Let's see what they are first. First of all, Mr. Smiley is thinking about the height of students. Then he's thinking about how honest a student is. Then he's talking about college fees of the student. He's also thinking about an educated person, the demand for mobile phones in today's world, and a beautiful flower. Well, Mr. Smiley is a little confused. Let's help him out. He says that out of these 6 things which can be seen on screen, 3 things are quantitative. Quantitative means 3 things can be expressed in numbers, something which you can count on your fingertips. And 3 things are qualitative in nature. Well, if you are from Gujarati medium in your schooling, then 3 વસ્તુઓ ગુણાત્મક છે અને 3 વસ્તુઓ ચલનાત્મક છે. Right. So, please help this little smiley to separate quantitative data from the qualitative data. Think, इसमें से कौन सी चीजें ऐसी है जो आप उंगलियों पे गिन सकते हो या तो फिर आप उसको नंबर्स में दर्शा सकते हो, और ऐसी कौन सी चीजें हैं जो किसी व्यक्ति या स्टूडेंट के क्वालिटी माने गुण माने कैरेक्टरिस्टिक की बात करती है. प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, थिंक and bifurcate in your mind. I give you 10 seconds. Think, please. All right. I think you have thought it correctly. Height of a student तो numbers में आ सकता है 5.5, 6 वगैरह. College fees of a student, rupees, you can count them. 2,000, 3,000, 500, you can count them in numbers. Demand of a mobile phone, yes, that also you can count in numbers. Am I right? Okay. So ये 3 चीजें जो Mr. Smiley के दिमाग में white bubble में है, they are quantitative or qualitative. Yes. दे आर क्वांटिटेटिव, आप उसको नंबर्स में मेजर कर सकते हो। बट ये आप जो ब्लू कलर में देख रहे हो, कौन सा वाला, ये वाला ब्लू कलर, राइट, ऑनेस्ट स्टूडेंट, educated person and a beautiful flower. All these three things are qualitative, गुणात्मक वस्तु है, वो किसी व्यक्ति के कैरेक्टरिस्टिक के बारे में बात करता है। सो करेक्ट, ऑनेस्ट स्टूडेंट, प्रामाणिक स्टूडेंट, या तो कोई स्टूडेंट ऑनेस्ट हो सकता है या तो ऑनेस्ट नहीं हो सकता है, या तो कोई व्यक्ति एजुकेटेड, पढ़ा लिखा हो सकता है या तो पढ़ा लिखा नहीं हो सकता है, और कोई फ्लावर, a flower beautiful ही हो सकता है मेरे हिसाब से तो। So what is happening is that when you are studying the subject of statistics, it is very important to know what is a variable, क्या चीजें qualitative है, and what is a qualitative and a quantitative thing, right? Variable, quantity, attribute, quality। शायद थोड़ा सा आपको पता चल गया है कि attribute क्या है, but now thank you for helping out Mr. Smiley. आगे बढ़ते हैं with the introduction of this chapter called Association of Attributes. Okay, so what is a variable, or what are variables and what are attributes? Variables are related to, as I said, quantity. Let's look. There you go. Variables are quantities which can be measured in numbers. जैसे आपने मिस्टर स्माइली को हेल्प कर दिया था, हाइट ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स, डिमांड फॉर मोबाइल फोन, कॉलेज फीस, ये सब आप मेजर नंबर्स में कर सकते हो। एंड इफ यू रिमेम्बर, पहले भी आपने वेरिएबल्स के बीच में रिलेशनशिप को स्टडी की है। व्हाट डू आई मीन बाय इट इज, ओके, लाइक इफ यू हैव टू वेरिएबल्स एंड इफ यू वांट टू नो कि उन दोनों के बीच में रिलेशन क्या है, पॉजिटिव रिलेशन है कि नेगेटिव रिलेशन है कि कोई रिलेशन नहीं है, यू हैव स्टडीड अ चैप्टर कॉल्ड कोरिलेशन, सहसंबंध તમે ભણી ચૂક્યા છો, right? But this chapter correlation, you are studying the relationship between what? Between variables, between quantitative data, right? But ये जो आपका चैप्टर है एसोसिएशन ऑफ एट्रीब्यूट्स, एट्रीब्यूट्स का मतलब क्या हुआ, क्वालिटी। क्वालिटी माने क्या, किसी व्यक्ति का कैरेक्टरिस्टिक, किसी व्यक्ति का गुण। सो नाउ लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड एट्रीब्यूट्स इन अ बेटर वे। लुक एट योर स्क्रीन्स। Okay, so let's define an attribute in general. Attributes are phenomenon which cannot be measured or represented numerically. हमने देखा honest student, beautiful flower, educated person. क्या हम ऐसा बोल सकते हैं कि XYZ student 90% honest है, तो क्या 10% वो honest नहीं है? क्या आप ऐसा बोल सकते हो? नहीं बोल सकते हो। क्यों नहीं बोल सकते हो? बिकॉज एन ऑनेस्ट स्टूडेंट, प्रामाणिकता, वो एक स्टूडेंट का गुण है, राइट? गुण या तो व्यक्ति में होता है या तो नहीं होता है। A particular quality, a particular attribute is either present in a person or it is absent in a person. So that is why when you want to study the relationship between two attributes, two or more भी आप पढ़ सकते हो, but as far as your FY BCom syllabus is concerned, you are studying the relationship only between two particular attributes, okay? तो ये relationship between two attributes can be studied by association. So see, I have indirectly introduced the two terms for you. First is attribute, which means quality, as you see over here, and association. So what is the meaning of association of attributes? Let's study that now. The relationship between two attributes can be studied by association. तो हमने ये देख लिया. So, association of attributes refers to a statistical method which helps to study the relationship between what? Between two attributes, as I told you in your syllabus. And what are attributes? They are nothing else but qualitative data. ગુણાત્મક વસ્તુઓ વચ્ચેનો સંબંધ જાણવા માટેની જે મેથડ હોય છે, उस मेथड को हम क्या बोलते हैं? Association of attributes. और हाँ, this qualitative data you cannot measure numerically, right? As I just told you that if a person is honest, either a person is honest or a person is dishonest. आप ऐसा नहीं बोल सकते कि 90% ये स्टूडेंट ऑनेस्ट है. आप ऐसा क्वांटिटेटिव मेजरमेंट एट्रीब्यूट के लिए डायरेक्टली नहीं कर सकते हो. सो दिस इज द मीनिंग ऑफ द चैप्टर एसोसिएशन ऑफ एट्रीब्यूट्स. आई एम श्योर थोड़ा सा आपको समझ में आया कि एसोसिएशन का मतलब होता है रिलेशनशिप. रिलेशनशिप दो एट्रीब्यूट के बीच में या तो पॉजिटिव हो सकती है, नेगेटिव हो सकती है, कोई रिलेशन एसोसिएशन नहीं हो सकता है. और एट्रीब्यूट क्या होता है? किसी व्यक्ति का गुण. इट इज द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक, इट इज द क्वालिटेटिव इंफॉर्मेशन. ऑलराइट, कांग्रेचुलेशंस. मीनिंग ऑफ एसोसिएशन ये चैप्टर का बेस, इंट्रोडक्शन, मीनिंग आई थिंक आपको क्लियर हो गया. सो नाउ चैप्टर पढ़ रहे हैं स्टैटिस्टिक्स का, तो कुछ सम्स तो करने पड़ेंगे. एंड बिफोर डूइंग द सम्स, हर एक चैप्टर का कोई अलग अलग नोटेशन होता है, राइट? सो एज आई टोल्ड यू इन द स्टार्टिंग, इस चैप्टर में हमको कुछ टेबल्स बनानी है और टेबल के अंदर कुछ पर्टिकुलर वे में आपको लिखना होता है. सो व्हाट आर द एसेंशियल नोटेशंस? लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड देम फर्स्ट बिफोर वी गो टू द टेबल्स. ऑलराइट, नाउ one of the attributes I was talking to you about was honesty. I told you, या तो कोई attribute जो होता है, जैसे honesty आप देख रहे हो, if the attribute is present in the person, see my cursor over here. If I say that the attribute is present in the person, present माने वो गुण वो व्यक्ति में है, okay? Then honest person है, it is denoted by capital letter A, okay? ऑनेस्ट का ऑपोजिट क्या होता है? माने उस व्यक्ति में वो एट्रीब्यूट नहीं है, तो ऑनेस्ट का ऑपोजिट होता है डिसऑनेस्ट, as you see over here. So the attribute is absent in the person, and when an attribute is absent in the person, if you're talking about A as honest, then dishonest जो उसका opposite है is denoted by alpha. So present का opposite absent, honest का opposite dishonest. तो अगर honest A है तो dishonest is represented or denoted by alpha. So I'm sure you are very clear with attribute number 1. Now I told you that in your syllabus you'll be having 2 attributes. So here comes attribute number 2. Let's take the second attribute as educated person, right? Now you know educated person माने या तो कोई particular person जिसकी honesty हम study कर रहे हैं, either a person is educated, so if the attribute is present, we call it B. इसको हमने A बोल दिया था, तो इसको हम बोलेंगे B. And if a person is uneducated, माने वो education वाला गुण उसमें नहीं है, the attribute is absent. So if A के साथ alpha आता है, B के साथ क्या आएगा? For absent of the particular attribute that is uneducated in our case, beta. So my dear student, please understand, if an attribute is present, उसको आप नाम दोगे A या B, और अगर वो attribute absent है तो A के साथ आएगा alpha और B के साथ आएगा beta. So I hope these notations are clear to you, and these notations will be used in a table called contingency table. जी हाँ, नाम ठीक से सुन लीजिए, contingency table. अगर ये नाम आपको थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट लग रहा है तो उसका एक दूसरा भी नाम है. दूसरा नाम क्या है? 9 square table. So to study this chapter, association of attributes, to study the association, first you will have to prepare a table like this which you see on your screen. Well, क्या देखते हो आप? Over here, on one side, I have taken A is equal to honest person and alpha is equal to dishonest person. B is equal to educated person and beta is equal to uneducated person. Right? ये तो हमने पहले बात कर ली थी. ठीक है, अब टेबल को थोड़ा सा समझते हैं. A is honest, उसका टोटल कहाँ पे आ रहा है? ये रहा A, और मैंने ब्रैकेट में लिखा है उसका टोटल. Alpha is dishonest, उसका टोटल हमने कहाँ लिखा है, ये रहा अल्फा का टोटल। टोटल माने कोई नंबर आएगा वहां पर, कोई फ्रीक्वेंसी आएगी वहां पर, कोई आवृत्ति आएगी वहां पर, तब उसको हमेशा ब्रैकेट में बताते हैं. सो व्हेन यू टॉक अबाउट द नेम ऑफ द एट्रीब्यूट, लाइक यू सेड ऑनेस्ट पर्सन, इफ यू टॉक अबाउट एन ऑनेस्ट पर्सन, ओके, तो सिर्फ ए, पर आप जब उसकी फ्रीक्वेंसी या आवृत्ति की बात करते हो तो हम उसके नंबर जब जब भी लगाएंगे नंबर, वहां पे लगा देंगे एक ब्रैकेट. वेरी गुड. What was the other attribute? If you remember, the other attribute was education. So if a person is educated, उसको हमने नाम दिया था B, और B का टोटल नीचे देखिए, B और ब्रैकेट में इक्वल टू है. Same way, बीटा was equal to uneducated person. रेड में देखिए नीचे, बीटा ब्रैकेट में दिया है इक्वल टू के साथ. सो आई थिंक यू हैव अंडरस्टूड दैट ए के सामने उसका टोटल, अल्फा के सामने उसका टोटल, बी के नीचे उसका टोटल और बीटा के नीचे द टोटल ऑफ, इन आवर केस, uneducated people. Now look at these notations in black color. AB bracket. What is AB? If a person is honest and the person is educated, so honest is A, educated is B. दोनों साथ में आ रहे हैं, honest and educated. So that is why the frequency is written as frequency AB. All right. If you have understood, then you will understand what is A beta. What is A beta? A person is honest but uneducated. What does alpha B mean? A person is dishonest but is educated. What does alpha beta mean? A person is dishonest, that is alpha, and the person is also uneducated. So dishonest हुआ alpha, uneducated हुआ beta. So that is why alpha beta frequency is shown over there. So my dear students, whatever sums we will be doing throughout the entire chapter, you have to always prepare a table like this, where in the starting you will define what is A, alpha, and what is B, beta. आप जो भी A लोगे उसका opposite होगा alpha, और आप जो भी B लोगे उसका opposite होगा beta. Very good. And this N over here, you know, total का main total जो होता है is denoted by N. Okay, the total population under study. So this was a simple contingency table. Now let's understand this table with an illustration. Okay, many times जब कोई research करता है, जब कोई study करता है, तो in that, suppose let's take an example that you want an illustration number 1 as this, that you want to study the relationship between honesty and education. या तो फिर आपको ये जानना है कि क्या educated लोग honest होते हैं कि नहीं होते हैं. ऐसे सवाल का जवाब is available with this chapter which you are studying called association of attributes. देखिए chapter कितना important हो गया आपके लिए. Whenever you want to study the relationship between attributes like this, qualities like this, ये chapter बहुत काम में आता है. All right. So in this, now we are first learning what? The contingency table. इसका दूसरा नाम क्या है? 9 square table. Oh yes, let me tell you कि ये contingency table को 9 square table क्यों बताते हैं? You remember this table we did? Yeah, good. Now see, over here, what is happening is AB, A beta, A, okay, alpha, N, beta, B. ये कितने आपको squares दिख रहे हैं? ये ग्रे कलर के कितने squares है जहां पे आप frequency लिखने वाले हो? 9. Very good. So that is why this particular contingency table is also known as 9 square table. I think it is clear to you very much. Am I right? So let's come back to our illustration now. Suppose आप कोई research कर रहे हो जिसमें आपको जानना है कि क्या educated लोग honest होते हैं या तो फिर what is the relation between honesty and education. So the first step will be you have to prepare which table? You have to prepare this contingency table. What is the other name? 9 square table. Okay. So let's say you have collected the data of around 200 people. Let's read the sum together, please. I hope you have your calci, paper, pen, everything with you because we will be doing sums together, okay? If you don't have, quickly go and bring it. Till then, we'll read the sum a little. N. How many people in a particular town? 200 people. All right. Out of these 200 people, how many people are honest? 125 people are honest. Okay, आपको पता है honest को हमने क्या नाम दिया था? A. Very good. Bracket क्यों रखा है? Because we're talking about frequency. That is why a bracket is there. Okay. What is the frequency of educated people? As you see, please read 90. 90 are educated. और educated को हमने नाम दिया था B. Very good. 50 people are honest and educated. Honest is A. Educated was B. That is why 50 is equal to AB bracket. All right. 35 people are dishonest and uneducated. So that is why 35 will be coming in the place of alpha, beta. So I hope आपको थोड़ा सा सम समझ में आया. Now let's study or let's learn how to prepare this contingency table. Basics now we know how the table looks like. A, alpha, B, beta, totals. वो आपको पता चल गया, right? Yes. Now let's put all this data in that particular table. Okay. Your illustration is there with you. Your table is also there with you, right? Okay. So the table you see, everything that you see in red color in the table over here is the data given to you in your sum over there, right? See, 200 was equal to n is equal to 200 है यहाँ पर, yes or no? बिल्कुल है. Okay. A was equal to 125, आपके पास 125 भी है. B was equal to 90, who are educated people, and AB was equal to 50. देखो, honest and educated. Honest A, educated B. So AB is equal to 50. Come on, quickly take your paper and pen and draw this table. I give you 10 seconds. I hope you have drawn the table now. Okay, so let's start calculating all those A, beta, alpha, B, the frequencies which you see in black color. They have to be calculated by you. So I'm sure you have your calci with you, right? Okay, now pay attention. We start calculating the missing frequencies. The first frequency we shall be calculating, as you see on your screen in yellow color. I have colored the cell for you. Alpha is equal to 75. अब 75 कहाँ से आया? How many people were there in total? 200 people were there. Very good. You want to find out alpha, and alpha is related to A. So if 200 people are total, out of these 200 total, 125 are honest people. So total number of people, 200. N minus A. A is 125 honest people. So 200 minus 125. I am sure your calci, if you're calculating, will also show you 75. So that is how you start finding out all the missing frequencies one by one. यहाँ कोई fixed rule नहीं है, आपको जहाँ से शुरू करना है, you can start from that particular place. Okay. Now alpha is calculated. Let's calculate beta. I think you're slowly coming to know how to calculate beta, and now you're understanding how this 110 came over here. Good. 200 was your N, and beta is related to B. So N minus B, 200 minus 90 will give you 110. I'm sure you're understanding. All right, let's find out one more missing frequency, and that would be alpha B. Alpha B कैसे आया? B 90 minus AB 50. 90 minus 50 is equal to 40. That's how you get the value of alpha B. Now my dear student, हमेशा याद रखो, ये आपका total है. So always remember, think, understand, always बाहर के total में से आप अंदर का frequency minus करोगे, then you will get the remaining frequency. So that is what we have done over here also. Alpha B कैसे आया? बाहर का total 90 minus अंदर का common number 50 AB वाला is equal to alpha B, which is equal to 40. I'm sure you're understanding. Let's see one more calculation of how to find out missing frequencies of your contingency table. All right, 35. ये कैसे आया? Alpha B is equal to 35. How did you get that? Alpha is equal to 75, जो आपके पास पहले कैलकुलेट किया हुआ था, minus alpha B, that is 40, जो आपने अभी shortly calculate किया. So alpha 75 minus alpha beta 40. So 75 minus 40, how much do you get? 35. I think you are understanding now. See, pehle we had around 5 frequencies which were missing. See, you still remember? All those 4 in the red. And look at the sum over here, if you remember the sum. All the 4 in the red were given to you. मैं color coding के साथ आपको पढ़ा रही हूँ, right? And I'm sure you're understanding what your Delnaz ma'am is teaching you. So all those 4 in red were given to you. How did you start filling up the missing cells? वो black color वाले कैसे? Minus, minus, plus, plus, minus. कहीं पे plus कर सकते हो, कहीं पे minus कर सकते हो. In our case, हम हर जगह पर minus, minus respective numbers करके हम missing frequencies ढूंढ रहे हैं, right? See, if you want to check also, 50 plus 40. 90, 125 plus 75, 200. So plus या minus करके you find out all the missing frequencies. So that's how 75 minus 40 is giving you 35. See, अब एक ही frequency बाकी है. कौन सी वाली? A beta. Come on, you find out that frequency for me quickly. 125 minus 50. ऐसे भी ढूंढ सकते हो. 110 minus 35 वैसे भी ढूंढ सकते हो. So horizontal calculation करो या vertical calculation करो, obviously you will get the same answer. Please calculate and find out A beta for me. Come on, quickly. All right, very good. 125 minus 50 वो भी 75 आता है. 110 minus 35 वो भी 75 आता है. So very good. Now what happens is all the cell frequencies are calculated by you, and this table which you have correctly calculated with my help is known as contingency table. Very good. And what is the other name of the contingency table? 9 square table. So congratulations. इस chapter association of attributes में contingency table कैसे बनाते हैं, how to use the notations A alpha B beta, and how to do the plus minus calculations to find out the missing frequencies. काफी कुछ सीख गए. Very good. Congratulations. Now, अगर आप डेलनाज मैम के साथ पढ़ाई कर रहे हो और हम क्विज ना पूछे, ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? So be ready with a quiz. The question is, the characteristics of the unit that cannot be expressed numerically, that is in numbers, is known as MCQ type question hai. I read it again for you. The characteristics of the unit that cannot be expressed numerically is known as, the 4 options for MCQ are A, quantity, B, attribute, C, time series data, D, इनमें से कोई नहीं, none of the above. Please read the question in your own mind and write down the answer of the MCQ. कोई भी एक answer है, I give you 5 seconds. Please think. Okay, so I'm sure if you have paid attention and if you remember that Mr. Smiley, remember? Okay, so the units which cannot be expressed as numbers, remember, educated person, honest person, beautiful flower? Yes, that which cannot be expressed as numbers directly, which are qualities, and qualities are known as attributes. So my dear student, the answer of this quiz question is B, MCQ option B, and that is attributes. I'm sure you've got the answer correct. Congratulations. Let's move ahead. Now, how to make the table आपको आ गया. But table में क्या था कि all the data was given to you. Now every time the data may not be correct. आप जब missing frequencies ढूंढते थे तो हो सकता है कि डेटा जो आपके पास आया है टेबल बनाने के लिए वो सही है कि डेटा गलत है. ये आप चेक कर सकते हो before finding the relationship. And in this chapter, association of attributes, there's a very important theory. I told you in the starting of the introduction. Do you remember? I had told you that if you are a student of Gujarat University FY BCom, and if you are studying the chapter association of attributes, which we are doing right now, एक important theory कौन सी थी? लिखना हो तो लिख दो. Very important theory. क्या है? Please write down the theory question. It is explain association of attributes and explain consistency of data with its rules. This is your important question. I again repeat. Explain association of data, या give the meaning of association of data and explain what is consistency of data along with its rules. So right now, let's understand what do you mean by consistency of data. Right. Now, remember the table which you had made? Okay. In that table, when you calculated honest, dishonest, educated, uneducated, वो सारी missing frequencies आपने plus minus करके ढूंढ ली थी. Yes or no? Okay. Start reading these red highlights. सब कुछ पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. Missing frequencies आपने कैसे ढूंढी? Plus और minus करके. ठीक है. Now, was any of the cell frequency in that in minus? No. अगर कोई भी cell frequency माइनस में आती तो, आई नहीं थी हमको, पर अगर माइनस में आती तो डेटा ठीक नहीं है. डेटा इज नॉट प्रॉपर. डेटा करेक्ट नहीं है. डेटा कंसिस्टेंट नहीं है. ऐसा आप बोल सकते हो. ओके, लेट मी मेक इट मोर क्लियर टू यू. If look at the green color over here. If any cell frequency is negative आती तो, then we conclude that the data is inconsistent. Inconsistent का मतलब क्या हुआ? डेटा प्रॉपर नहीं है, डेटा ठीक नहीं है, उसको हम बोलते हैं inconsistent. ठीक है. पर consistent कब होता है? Look at this in blue color over here. If none of the cell frequencies is negative, माने अगर एक भी फ्रीक्वेंसी माइनस में नहीं आई, उसका दूसरा मतलब क्या हुआ? If all the cell frequencies, see I have written in capital for you over here, right? If all the cell frequencies are positive, सब कुछ प्लस में आ रहा है, then if it is positive, then we conclude that data is consistent. क्लियर हो गया? वापस रिपीट कर रही हूँ, ध्यान दो. आपने पहले टेबल बनाई, टेबल में सारी मिसिंग फ्रीक्वेंसीज आपने प्लस माइनस करके ढूंढ ली. Even if one frequency is in minus, that means डेटा ठीक नहीं है. ठीक नहीं का मतलब क्या हुआ? आप ही सोचो. हाउ कैन यू हैव -10 people who are honest? कैसे हो सकता है? -10 लोग कैसे हो सकते हैं? नहीं हो सकते हैं. डेटा में कुछ गलती है. That is what you mean by inconsistency. I think now you're understanding, right? So when is data consistent, my dear student? When all the cell frequencies उस table वाली, if they are positive, then data is said to be consistent. Data sahi hai, right? Now, I've told you that you have to do the rules of consistency of data. Let's quickly look at the rules. स्टार्टिंग में आपको थोड़ा कंफ्यूजन लगेगा, बट डोंट वरी. इसके बाद एज यूजुअल हम इलस्ट्रेशन लेंगे और इलस्ट्रेशन से थियोरी ज्यादा अच्छे से आपको समझ में आएगी. सो इफ टू एट्रीब्यूट्स A and B are there with you, A क्या है, B क्या है, हमने किया आगे, ऑनेस्ट डिसऑनेस्ट वो वाला. ठीक है. And the following rules have to be satisfied if you want to test what? कि भाई डेटा कंसिस्टेंट है कि नहीं है. What is rule number 1? Rule number 1 says AB should not be negative. अब कोई नंबर नेगेटिव कब होगा, कब नहीं होगा राधर, जब या तो वो नंबर 0 होगा या 0 से बड़ा होगा, माने the number will be greater than or equal to 0. At that time any particular cell frequency, हमने यहाँ पे सिर्फ AB लिया है, but any particular cell frequency, see over here for yourself in this table. याद है आपको हमारा ये एग्जाम्पल? यस, देखो AB कितना है, 50 है, राइट? AB 0 से ज्यादा है, राइट? सी, I have rewritten the rules for you over here also. AB greater than equal to 0. That is the first rule. Let's understand the second rule now. What is the second rule over here? AB should not be greater than A. Let's see it with the table now. AB ये रहा. AB अंदर का नंबर है, मैंने आपको बताया था बाहर के टोटल में से अंदर का नंबर आप सबट्रैक्ट करते हो. क्यों ऐसा करते हो? बिकॉज बाहर का टोटल हमेशा बड़ा होगा, राइट? Okay, so that is what it means by. Now let's come back to the rule over here. It says AB should not be greater than A. हमारे समय AB कितना है? 50. A कितना है? 125. अंदर का नंबर बाहर के टोटल से कम या छोटा या इक्वल होना चाहिए. 50 is less than 125? Yes. So the rule is satisfied. अब ये AB की जो बात चल रही थी, over here, if you see, the third rule said that AB should be less than equal to B. तो ही आपका डेटा, अगर सब कुछ पॉजिटिव है, read the screen, it says, green में लिखा है, since all the cell frequencies are positive, in other words, एक भी frequency माइनस में नहीं थी. AB A के टोटल से भी छोटा है और AB B के टोटल से भी छोटा है. 50 is less than 90. So पहला रूल क्या था? AB has to be greater than equal to 0. हाँ जी, 0 से ज्यादा है. दूसरा रूल क्या था? AB has to be less than equal to 125. Let's revise it again, see over here. और तीसरा रूल क्या था? AB should not be greater than B. बिल्कुल, as I told you, 90 और ये 50 है. AB 50 is less than equal to B also, which was 90. So as we just told you, same sum है ये. All the frequencies are positive. कोई एक भी आपको नेगेटिव दिख रहा है? नहीं है. So that is why data is said to be consistent. Consistent का मतलब क्या हुआ? Data ठीक है. So I think the answer to this illustration which we have taken is the data is said to be consistent. Data is proper. I'm sure you understood what is consistency of data. So अगर एग्जाम में ये क्वेश्चन आता है तो आप ऐसा कोई भी एक टेबल बना के खुद का एक आप छोटा सा सम बना सकते हो, no problem. Okay, now to understand, मैंने बोला this concept is very important, not only from the viewpoint of theory, but इसके sums भी पूछे जाते हैं in your Gujarat University exam. So एक illustration तो हमने कर लिया. Now let's do another illustration of consistency of data. This is illustration number 2. Let us read the sum together. Okay, 800 students appear in an examination. So total कितने students हैं आपके पास? यहाँ पर देखिए कितने हैं? 800. Very good. So 800 is equal to n. Look at your table. N is equal to 800. Red color में है. I think you got the point. जो भी मैंने red में लिखा है, everything is given to you in your sum. Let's read together again. Among them, among whom? वो 800 students में से 600 were boys. देखिए हमने A को boy बोला है, अल्फा को girl. 650 students were unsuccessful. Unsuccessful माने एग्जाम में या तो आप सक्सेसफुल होते हो या अनसक्सेसफुल होते हो. एग्जाम में या तो पास होते हो या तो फेल होते हो. So as and when you read the sum, आपको पता चल जाएगा कि you want to find out कि भाई students एग्जाम में सक्सेसफुल है कि नहीं है. Is there a relation between students and their success in the exam? That is the main question. So what we did was, We assumed A as students and that also boys, right? How many boys are given to you in your sum? 600. Total students kitne the? N 800. Please look at the screen. N was 800. What have we assumed? If A is equal to boys, then alpha is equal to girls. Remember, A ka opposite alpha? Exactly. Very good. If you take B equal to successful, then beta is equal to unsuccessful. Now what do you do over here is, if you look at the illustration, you know the next step is that you have to find out the missing frequencies. You remember missing frequencies? Very good. Now check. A 600 boys आपको दिया था, N total number of students 800 आपको दिया था. Look at the yellow one. Alpha कैसे मिला? 800 minus 600 gives you 200, right? And now look at the green color cell over here. Beta. Beta आपको कैसे मिला? N 800 minus B 600. So 650. So 800 minus 650. कितना मिलेगा आपको बेटा? 150. So if you see, alpha is equal to N minus A is equal to 200. It's in yellow color on both the sides of your screen. And beta is equal to main total N minus B, which is equal to 150 on both sides of your screen. So 800 minus 650 gives you 150. So I think you know how to find out the missing frequencies. And this alpha beta 160 was already given to you. क्या था कि भाई girls है and unsuccessful hai. So girls was alpha, unsuccessful was beta. So that got you 160 from your question. Beta 150 आपने अभी कैलकुलेट किया. ध्यान से देखिए क्या हो रहा है आगे बाकी की मिसिंग फ्रीक्वेंसीज में. Remember I had told you, बाहर के टोटल में से अंदर का नंबर आपको subtract करना है. So my dear student, now A 600, alpha 200, N 800, beta 150, alpha beta 160. What happens? I told you, बाहर के टोटल में से अंदर का टोटल आपको माइनस करना है. Look at the screen over here. 150 is beta minus 160 is alpha beta. What do you get on your calci? 150 minus 160 will give you minus 10. Look at this rough calculation work over here. आपको ढूंढना था A beta. A beta आपको कैसे मिलता है? Taught you बाहर का टोटल माइनस अंदर का टोटल. So बाहर का टोटल beta was 150. अंदर का टोटल alpha beta was 160. So 150 minus 160 is 10. बड़ा नंबर 160 है तो उसका साइन माइनस लगाया. So A beta means A is boys, beta is unsuccessful. Boys and unsuccessful. Answer missing frequency is in a negation, minus 10. Data consistent, K inconsistent. What do you feel? Remember the theory I taught you. Remember the first rule that the frequency should be greater than equal to 0. कुछ याद आया? Yes. ये तो minus 10 है. It is not greater than equal to 0. So, because A beta आप red में दे सकते हो, because A beta is minus 10, it is negative. Data is inconsistent. So the first example, my dear students, which I took, सब कुछ प्लस में आ रहा था, याद है? So I told you it was consistent. But ये दूसरा illustration जो मैंने आपके लिए लिया theory और सम समझाने के लिए, उसमें क्या हो रहा था? एक माइनस में फ्रीक्वेंसी आई. कितना आया? माइनस 10. So अगर एक भी फ्रीक्वेंसी, कोई भी एक फ्रीक्वेंसी अगर आपकी माइनस में आती है, that means data is not proper. That means data is inconsistent. But if all the frequencies are positive, That means data is consistent. But in this case, the data for this illustration number 2, data is inconsistent. I hope you understood very clearly what is consistency of data, because very important theory for your exam. So now we have come to the end of this chapter, this particular lecture. For the chapter का नाम क्या था? Association of attributes. This was the first lecture for this chapter, association of attributes. आज के first lecture में हमने क्या क्या सीखा? Let's take a very quick recap. We understood what's a variable and what's an attribute. Quality and quantity. Quantity, variable. Quality, attribute. Remember, Mr. Smiley, we had done the starting? Very good. Then we saw the meaning of association of attributes. Essential notations हमने सीखे, A alpha, B beta, A B वाले. Contingency table कैसे बनाते हैं और उसके illustrations भी हमने अच्छे से देखे. Finally, we did the very important theory for your Gujarat University exam, that was consistency of data. We did the theory also, we did the understanding also, we did the rules also, and we did 2 sums of consistency of data. अगर आप quiz का sum लोगे, तो we have done 3 sums of consistency of data. So, my dear student, thank you very much. I hope you understood today's lecture, and happy learning to you. God bless you. This was my very first lecture of this particular chapter, Association of Attributes. Many more lectures to understand the same topic. As of now, Delnaz ma'am from JT College of Commerce, Gujarat University says, thank you. Happy learning. God bless you.